Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome back to TCM for the second half of tonight's double feature of movies starring Cher. Up next, one of the best comedies of the 1980s, a sweet and authentic romance about a large, extended Italian-American family in Brooklyn. From MGM in 1987, directed by Norman Jewison, Moonstruck. Cher leads the cast here as Loretta Castorini, a widow in her late 30s. She married once for love and has since decided to live a much more practical life. She has agreed to marry again to a perfectly nice guy who she likes well enough but does not love. He has mommy issues that make him, unattractive. Anyway, their marriage plans hit a snag when she meets her future brother-in-law, a tormented, passionate baker played by Nicolas Cage. He has issues of his own, but he has figured his mother out. As great as they are in the film, both Cher and Cage almost weren't in it. Cher loved the script, but she was simply too busy to make the movie. Director Norman Jewison offered her the part just after she wrapped the film Suspect and was in the middle of production on The Witches of Eastwick. She turned it down, but Jewison persisted, telling Cher that films like Moonstruck and characters like Loretta don't come around often. If she said no now, Jewison told her, she would regret it for the rest of her life. Cher knew he was right, and she agreed to do the picture. Between filming The Witches of Eastwick and Moonstruck, Cher had exactly 1 day off. Nick Cage was a different story. He was available, but the studio didn't view him as a bankable romantic lead. After Cher saw Cage in his Uncle Francis Ford Coppola's film Peggy Sue Got Married, she knew he'd be perfect for the role, and she threatened to quit if Cage wasn't cast. The rest of the ensemble is rounded out with a steady diet of terrific character actors. There's Danny Aiello as the fiancé with mother issues, Olympia Dukakis and Vincent Gardenia as Loretta's parents. He owns a plumbing company and teaches us that copper pipes cost money. Copper costs money because it saves money. Dukakis, his loyal, funny, and put-upon wife, won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The rest of the standout cast includes Julie Bavasso, Louis Guss, John Mahoney, and Fyodor Shalyapin Jr. They are all led by Cher, who won the Academy Award for Best Actress. From 1987, Moonstruck. Though Moonstruck is a classic of Italian-American cinema, the movie was written by John Patrick Shanley, who, if you couldn't tell by the John, the Patrick, or the Shanley, is Irish-American. He did, however, grow up in New York, surrounded by Italian immigrant families, used them as the basis for the Castorinis. Also not Italian, Cher. Born Sherilyn Sarkeesian and raised in Southern California, Cher is of Armenian and Western European descent with some Cherokee possibly in her family tree. Her memorable accent in Moonstruck came from training with a dialect coach on set. Cher made sure she thanked her in her acceptance speech when she won the Best Actress Academy Award. Cher starred in 3 films in 1987, still found time to record and release her self-titled comeback album. The record went platinum, even spawned a top 10 hit, I Found Someone. Since then, Cher has focused primarily on music, popping up in films only occasionally. Her most recent role came in 2018 as her Silkwood co-star Meryl Streep's mother in the sequel to Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. That Cher is only 3 years older than Meryl Streep is a fact best ignored. Coming up, The Professor. Jacqueline Stewart has this week's edition of Silent Sunday Night with a comedy starring Jackie Coogan. The Rag Man is next on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, The Rag Man, then Fires on the Plain, and later, Pigs and Battleships. Swim with the Swine on TCM tonight.